Hello everybody, my name is Fearlxss, and today we're going to be doing the killer perk tier list. I recently did the survivor perk tier list, probably about a week ago, maybe, at this point. And I thought it was about time to do the killer perk tier list. So, the very first perk we have is a Nurse's Calling. Sorry, the music is playing right now. I thought it would just be better if I just had the music playing in the back rather than putting it in editing. So here it is. First perk is the Nurse's Calling, though. You can see people's auras who are healing within 28 meters. I believe it's 28. I personally don't think this perk is good unless you're a stealth killer. So we're just going to start from F and go up slowly. So I'll just put the perk in F for now, and then I'm moving it up. So it's definitely not F. I wouldn't say it's D or C. It's in the S, A, or B category, personally. So what are the pros and cons of this perk? 28 meters, pretty long distance. Unless you're a stealth killer, or that's pretty much it. I'm pretty sure Hag's tear radius is 24, however. Yeah, Hag's tear radius is 24 meters. So, I mean, with Hag, it's good, and stealth killers, it's good. But other than that, I wouldn't really recommend it. Because once they see your tear radius, they might just run away immediately anyways. I'm keeping it in B. Agitation. I honestly don't see any flaws with Agitation. It only works when you pick someone up, which is the only downside of it. When carrying someone, you move 18% faster. I should probably say that first. So it's really good for Nurse and, you know, every other slow character in the game, like Tier 1 Myers, you know. And with this perk on, let's say you're Trapper. If you have this perk on and you're carrying someone, you are faster than a survivor who is running. So you can catch them, you know. So, I mean, it's really nice. If you have a Scourge hook that you can't quite make it to, then, you know, this would help out. I'm also going to put it in B tier, because I do think it is really good. Actually, you know what? I'm going to move it up to A tier. I might move Nurse's Calling. Nah, I'll the other. Alien Instinct. I mean, I have to put this D tier. I wouldn't quite say F. I don't think it's that bad, but it's literally just a low-budget version of barbecue and chili. Right? If you when you hook someone, the person who is injured and furthest away is revealed to you. So first of all, someone has to be injured when you hook someone. So if it's like your first chase, you're probably not going to get any value out of it because no one else is going to be injured. So it's completely useless. So I mean, it's got to be D. I might even move it to F. I'm considering it. But I mean, if someone is injured, like let's say it's a 2v1 situation, you just killed someone and the other person's injured, you can find them, but it's very situational. Awaken Awareness. When carrying someone, you can see every survivor's aura within, I believe, 20 meters. I really do think this perk is amazing. And I don't know if I said this about the survivor perks. The perks are going by themselves. So like Nurse's Calling with Sloppy Butcher could be a good combo, right? Because then you could go stop them. But it's on the perk by itself, okay? So we're not combining any perks together, because a lot of people do that. I do it a little bit of a different way, okay? If you don't like that, then just go watch someone else's tier list or make your own tier list, you know? But yeah, Awaken Awareness by itself, I still think is pretty good. You can see if someone's about to sabotage. So it's already better than Hangman's Trick. Hangman's Trick shows you if people are sabotaging within 12 meters of a Scourge hook, right? That's useless. If you have Awaken Awareness, that is useless because, like, it's 20 meters. That is a really far range. I mean, 20 meters, there's probably 20 meters in between each hook. So, I mean, you'll see if someone's sabotaging. If someone's sabotaging, you'll immediately turn around. This has saved me multiple times. Although I barely ever use it. I always use it with the anti-wiggle build, you know, like Iron Grasp, Agitation, Mad Grit, Awaken Awareness. I kind of moved Awaken Awareness out of that build, though. I use Force Penance now because, if you don't know, when, you know what? We'll get to Force Penance later and I'll explain it. Leave you guys in anticipation. But I wouldn't call Awakened Awareness. I'd say it's probably a solid B tier. Is it better than Nurse's Calling? I'd probably say no. So it's going to stay right there. Bamboozle. I mean, it's already going to B tier, but will it move up from there? Let's find out. After vaulting a window, first of all, you vault windows 15% faster, and then after vaulting a window, it is blocked for 16 seconds. Now, let's see what killers it's good on. It's good on Trapper, Wraith. Although you could just body block with Wraith, but I'm still saying Wraith because he is just an M1 killer at the end of the day. Definitely on Hillbilly. I mean, I'd say with a majority of the killers in this game, Bamboozle's amazing. A couple exceptions in there, obviously, like Nurse. You can blink through the window. Why would you need to do that? I mean, if you're good with Blight and you can somehow curve around it, and yeah, but like I put Bamboozle on almost every killer I played. It's just such a nice perk to have. I would definitely say this perk is A tier. Or I might move it up to S. I'm not gonna lie, I'm considering it. It's definitely better than Agitation in my opinion, so it's going above there. Let's see. It's good with every single killer in the game. Especially like Legion or Chucky, because they can vault windows pretty quickly. It's good in every single map, because, you know, some perks, like, might not be good on certain map. Anyway, Bamboozle is good for literally every loop, because almost every single loop in the game has a window. Or near every single loop is a window. It's going S tier. It's going S tier. I'm sorry if you guys don't agree with that, but it's going S tier. Barbecue and Chili. After hooking someone, anyone that's 40 meters or more away from the hook, you can see their aura. So it's literally just a 10 million times better version of Alien Instinct. It's already going above that, for sure. And I'm definitely not saying it's C tier. I mean, see, when I do tier lists, I'm very generous. I try to find every single positive thing about a perk. And that's why a lot of people didn't like my other tier lists, because like I'd always move the killers or the perks one above what they should be, you know, because I'm very generous. I think of every single pro that I could possibly find, and con, but mainly pros. I mean, there's no downside to Barbecue and Chili. In my personal opinion, I think Barbecue and Chili should be a scourge hook, but a lot of people wouldn't agree with that, you know. I think they should make Barbecue and Skilly. I think they should make Barbecue and Chili a scourge hook, but the 40-meter range is gone. There's infinite range. Or they could lower it down to 20. So if you put someone on a scourge hook, you can see everyone. And the only counter to this would be Distortion, Soul Survivor, or getting a locker. You know? But is it B tier? I'm not sure. Do I think it's better than Awaken Awareness? Awaken Awareness, it can tell you if someone's sabotaging. Now, theoretically speaking, if we had these two perks together, again, we're going by the perks on themselves, but Awaken Awareness would show you if someone's sabotaging. If you didn't have Awaken Awareness and you went to a hook and it got sabotaged, then you can't really use Barbecue in the first place. I think an Awaken Awareness is better. Batteries included. You know how a lot of people feel about haste perks. I agree with it too. It's definitely not F. I'd give this a solid C. First of all, every time a gen's done, you get 5% haste for, I think, 5 seconds. Not horrible, but it's really not the best. Also, within 12 meters of a finished generator, you also get that haste. And after leaving 12 meters, you get it for another 5 seconds. I'm sorry, but 12 meters is such a low range. I mean, a lot of survivors will loop you around finished gens so you don't go to other ones, but I'm going to leave this in C tier. Now, I don't have all the perk names. I'm going off of memory alone. This is Beast of Prey. Now, these are in alphabetical order, so if I don't know the name, like, I call this Territorial Imperative. That's this one. This is obviously Beast of Prey because we're in the Bs right now. Beast of Prey. After getting Bloodlust 1 on a survivor in Chase, you become undetectable. It really is the definition of nothing. Like, it's quite literally nothing. It does nothing for you. Why would you want to be undetectable in Chase? And also, after leaving the Chase, I'm pretty sure the undetectable goes away immediately. If it lingered for like 30 seconds, let's say, that would be amazing, honestly. Because you get bloodlust like 90, I'd say like 50% of the time. Bitter Murmur. After a gen is done, you can see everyone within 60 meters of that gen for, I think, probably 10 seconds. And then when every gen is done on the map, when every gen is finished, you can see every survivor's aura for 10 seconds. I'd give this a solid B. It's a great information perk, especially if you're like a Huntress or a Trickster or any long-range killer. Hell, even Hag, if she had to teleport to any trap out on it. Amazing. Blood Echo. After hooking a survivor, every survivor that is injured is exhausted and I think they have mangled or hemorrhage, I believe. It's exhausted and mangled or exhausted and hemorrhage, but either way, it's for 45 seconds. I would not call this the best. It can be easily countered by, like, Vigil. I do think it's better than Alien Instinct, however. Like, way better than that. Blood Warden. I almost forgot the name. Blood Warden. This is one of my favorite perks in the game, despite forgetting the name. It's already bumping up to A tier, in my opinion. I might move it a little bit. I don't think it's better than Agitation, because Agitation you can use throughout the entire trial. Blood Warden you can only use in the end game. But that still doesn't mean I'm going to lower it down to B or anything. I think this is a solid A tier perk. What this does is, after hooking a survivor during the endgame collapse, the exegate, both the exegates are blocked for an entire minute. So if that bar is halfway, and you hook a person, they're just dead. No one is. If they stayed in the trial, they are going to die because it's a minute. A minute is half of the bar when the bar is orange. The entire bar is 2 minutes. If someone's downed, it goes up to 4. It's like multiplied by 2, you know? This is amazing. I just love it. It's so satisfying, too. Bloodhound, I believe is the name of this. Yeah, Bloodhound. I'm pretty sure pools of blood are brighter. And I'm pretty sure that's all it does. And I'm sorry, this is horrible. I do think it's better than Beast of Prey, though, because this, you can actually utilize it more. Because, like, for this one to activate, first of all, the undetectable during chase, that's not going to do anything for you. It's going to do absolutely nothing. And you have to get Bloodlust, so you have to activate your nothing. This, you can just see blood pools brighter. It's useful on, like, let's say Swamp, because it's so dark on the ground. But, I mean, it's very map dependent. It's horrible. Brutal Strength. Let's be honest here. This is already going up to A. And you can use it throughout the match. You don't have to carry someone. I think it's better than these two still. It lets you break pallets, generators, and walls 20% quicker. That's all it does. I know it sounds very simple, but it is amazing. I mean, no matter what killer you're playing, this is incredible, especially if you're like a Michael Myers or a Ghostface, or like a M1 killer. I forgot the name. M1 killer. Colubrine. Used to be insane. Now it's not. When you kick a generator, that generator regresses, I think, 125% quicker. I'm pretty sure it used to be 200, if I'm not mistaken. It's 125 now, I believe. Maybe 130. And if someone gets on that gen and hits a good skill check, you see it. It's good information. It's definitely not F tier. F tier is going to be the worst of the worst perks, like Beast of Prey and Bloodhound. Like, those are just useless. This, good information. I'd give it a C. I think it's better than this. First of all, no one likes haste perks. Even if they do, I mean, this is just better. Because a gen has to get done for you to use this, so that's already a downside. It makes you a little bit quicker, but it's not worth it for a gen to get entirely done. Colubrine you can use on any gen. And I do think it's good information. I might move it up to B. I think I'll stick it with C. Corrupt Intervention. Now, back in the day, Corrupt Intervention would be an S tier perk. It blocks the 3 furthest gens from your spawn for 2 entire minutes. Now, what it used to do is that effect, but now what it does now is it still blocks the 3 furthest gens for 2 minutes, but if you down someone, they're all unblocked. And I think that brings it down pretty significantly. I would still say it's a high B tier perk, though. Because if you're like again a Michael Myers, a Ghostface, a Trapper, any M1 killer, this is really useful for you. Especially if you're Michael Myers, because he starts off really slow. Pleurophobia. If someone's healing within your terror radius, They healed 50% slower, and their skill checks move 50% faster. Really great for slugging, because if someone tries to get them up in your terror radius, like, it's just, they can't. I'd probably give this a solid C tier. I think it is way more useful than batteries included. Call Brian, though, I'm not quite sure, because that, I mean, even though it's only 125, that's still a pretty big increase. So, I think I'm going to leave it here. Coup de grace. I mean, this is going S tier right away. I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to put it above Bamboozle. After a gen is completed, you get 2 stacks. Each stack increases your lunge by 80%. That, a lot of people might not understand that. The next lunge you do is increased by 80%, and then a token is lost. So, it isn't like 80 plus 80 or anything if you have 2 stacks, no. So, you can get up to, you can only carry 5 stacks at a time, but you can get a total of 10 throughout the trial. And this is extremely good, especially on a clown or any M1 killer, once again. I mean, it's just insane. There's no downside. Because, yes, you're losing gens, but it gives you a great effect. See, with batteries included, you're losing gens, but it doesn't give you that good of an effect. This is much better. Cruel limits. I almost said claustrophobia, but no. Cruel limits. After a gen is done, every window on the map is blocked for, I believe, 30 seconds. I mean, I definitely wouldn't give this above a C, personally. If you're in chase with someone, it's really good if a gen gets done, because then they're just dead. But other than that, they're, like, if you're not in chase, this is useless. I definitely do think the effect is better than batteries included, though. And I think it's better than choleraphobia, because if you just so happen to be in chase, you're going to get it down. Dark Devotion. After hitting your obsession by any means... Or actually, no. After your obsession loses a health state by any means. So if they use plot twist or something, I believe this still works. I don't know if it actually does, but I'm pretty sure it might. But yeah, after hitting your obsession, or after your obsession lose a health state by any means, your terror radius goes to them. So it's like they're the killer. It's set to 32 meters, and then you are undetectable for 30 seconds. So they're pretty much the killer, and you're just a survivor. You pretty much swap roles. I think this is a really good perk. You can use it more than Blood Warden and Agitation. The only downside, really, is that you can only use it on the Obsession, so I might put it below Agitation. But if you're using a certain build, again, we're going off the perks by itself, but with certain builds, this is great. But yeah, this is just... Darkness Revealed. I just had the biggest mindfuck of my life. I had no clue what that was. Darkness Revealed. After opening a locker, everyone within 8 meters of any locker, I think you can see them for 5 seconds. It might be more. I don't think it's less. I think it's like 5 seconds or a little bit more. It's a really good info perk. It has a 30-second cooldown, I believe. So every 30 seconds, you could just see people next to lockers. If there's a gen in Killer Shack, you're guaranteed to see them. I do think it's better. Like, it's an info perk that already makes me want to put it right. I think, like, right here. Like, if you're gonna check I mean, you have to check a locker, so you are wasting a bit of time, but then it gives you some good info. I don't think it's better than any of these ones in B tier, though. Deadman Switch. After you hook someone, anyone that gets off of a gen within 30 seconds, the gen is blocked for the remainder of the 30 seconds. So if you hook someone and someone immediately gets off, that gen is blocked for 30 seconds. By itself, it's not really that good. Unless you know what gen they're on, then it's pretty decent. I'd probably give another C tier. There's going to be a lot of perks in C tier. It's just like, it's just mid, pretty much. This is pretty much the middle, you know? I think it's better than batteries included because you can use it anytime. I'd say it's better than Colorphobia because anything gen-related, anything that defends gens a lot, I think is really good. I'd say it's better than Cruel Limits, too, because you don't have to have a gen done for it to be activated. I think it's the best in C tier so far. Deadlock. Now, a lot of people are not going to agree with this opinion. I hate Deadlock. And here's the reason. Ozdarva, you know Ozdarva, he's always like, Deadlock's good because if they're on a gen and another one gets done, that gen's blocked, right? Let's say there are 2 gens with high progress. One of them gets done. The other gen that has high progress, let's say it's like 98%, that gen will then get blocked for 30 seconds. But during that 30 seconds, the survivors will leave and do another gen. And then, like, only having 1 gen done, now you're going to have 1 gen 90 and 98 and another gen like 50%. I mean, this is horrible. As opposed to having 1 gen done, now you're going to have almost 2 done. So I think, personally, I think this is a horrible perk. I know no one's going to agree with me. Please no hate. It's just my opinion. If you don't like my opinions on my tier list, then just make your own or just ignore it, you know? I don't know if I'd say it's D tier. I mean, it's still good for gen defense. The survivors I get are really smart, though, so they usually just leave the gen and do another one. So then, instead of having 1 gen done, you're going to have 1 gen at, like, 90% and another gen at, like, let's say 30. So you're actually losing more than you're gaining. So I'm going to put it right here, where it is now. Deathbound. I'm not sure what this one does, to be fully honest. I'm just going to go out in the dark here. I think if a survivor finishes a healing action when they are beyond 32 meters from you, the person that was healing them is oblivious. Yeah, they're oblivious. I'm pretty sure that's the only effect. They're just oblivious. And if they stay within 8 meters of the person they healed, they're not oblivious. But if they leave 8 meters, they are oblivious. I'm sorry. I don't know if I got that description fully right, but I'm putting this in F tier. I think it's completely useless. It's definitely better than these two, that's for sure. I mean, I don't know what perks can't be better than these two. Deer Stalker. I'm putting it right here. After downing... Well, okay. Let's say after downing someone. You can see everyone who's downed within 32 meters. So it's only good for slugging. I do think it's better than both of these two, though, because these two are just absolutely awful. Discordance. There's a lot of perks that start with dis. Discordance. When there are 2 or more people working on a generator within, I think, 180 meters or 128 meters, you can see the gen's aura in yellow. So it's really good for information. If once the survivors catch on to this, they might only do, like, they might only put 1 person on a gen, but I mean, a lot of survivors are going to be doing gens together, so this is really good. I would argue that it's better than these. I'm going to put it in high A. Disillusion. After injuring a survivor, if anyone vaults a pallet within your terror radius, the pallet immediately breaks. I think this is amazing. I think it's better than these. Just because you can do it anytime. I'll put it in a high B tier. Because, like, a lot of things that you can do is... A survivor, you can hit a survivor, they're going to drop the pallet and stun you. If they stay at that loop, they're going to try to vault the pallet again. If they vault it, it's just broken and you down them. It's amazing. Distressing, I'm sorry, this is going in F tier. F tier. Because it's by itself, remember. By itself, it increases your terror radius by 26%. Without any other perks, I don't know why you'd want your terror radius to be increased. It could throw off survivors a little bit, but I don't think it's worth it. It does give you bonus blood points, though, so I will bump it up for that. But I don't think it's better than this one. Dragon's Grip. After kicking a generator, if anyone gets on that gen within 30 seconds, I believe, they are exposed and they scream. So it's good if you camp, pretty much. Now again, we're going off of only the perk. I would say it's good with Insidious, but you're not allowed to use Insidious. So I'm sorry. I think this is just like high D tier. What is this one called? Dying Light. Every time you hook someone who's not your obsession, everyone that's not your obsession repairs and heals 3% slower. So, I mean, you can get, what, 3, 6, 9, 12, 40, 15, 16, 18. You can get up to 18% with everyone still being alive. So, 18%, that's pretty good. You can get higher than that, of course, but I'm just saying 18% if everyone is still alive. Because it doesn't affect your obsession, remember. So if you kill all the other ones, it may go up to like 30%, but your obsession's not going to be affected, so it won't matter. I think this is honestly a great slowdown perk. Because, like, you're going to be hooking people anyways. So just go for someone who's not your obsession, and you're getting free slowdown. The only downside is that your obsession unhooks and heals 33% faster. The unhooking speed will help a little bit, but not nearly as much as the healing speed. But I do think this is still pretty good perk. Enduring. No one's going to agree. I'm sorry, but this is going S tier. S tier. A lot of survivors will stun you and just make distance. This will reduce that distance that they gain by a very substantial amount. Also, you can get an insta-down with it. I will show a clip if I have one. I don't think I do, though. If I do, it's right here. If not, then there's no clip. But let's say you hit someone as they stun you with a pallet. If they try to dumb tech you, you down them. If you get stunned on the same side as you hit them on, you can just turn around real quick and grab them off the pallet. I think this is an amazing perk. I'm sorry if no one agrees with that. My friends and I agree with it personally, though. This is an amazing perk. Eruption. After kicking a generator, the next time you down someone, that gen loses 10% progress, and if anyone was on that gen, I believe they scream and you can see their aura for 14 seconds. It used to be a lot better. I'm not going to go into the details of what it used to do. You can figure that out yourself. But this is just a better version. I'm not sure. Is it a better version of Surge? Probably not. Surge, you don't have to kick it. I think with Surge, they only lose 8%, but that's only 2% less. And you don't have to kick it. Although Eruption doesn't have a range. It's beyond it's on the entire map. I do think this is A tier. It's definitely better than Dying Light, personally. Dying Light is permanent until you kill your session, though. I'm going to go ahead and put this here. Also, Dying Light, I'm going to move above Blood Warden just because it can be used throughout the entire match. It's only end game, so... Yeah. Fire Up. Fire Up is going in S tier. I know, no one's going to agree. But again, my opinion. If you don't agree, suck it up, put your binky back in, and go away. I mean, leave in the comments below what you would change about the tier list at the end. You know, what would you change about it? But me and my friends probably agree with what I'm doing so far. My friends tend to agree with what I say about the perks because I do make very good points. I might not be making all the points in this video, but just know I have good reasons for putting the perks where I put them. Fire Up. Every time a gen's done, you get 4% pickup speed, kicking speed, vaulting speed. I believe there's more than that as well, maybe not. But the pickup speed and the vaulting speed are mainly what I enjoy. Picking up faster is so good. It makes it really difficult for the survivors to time flashlight saves, and I mean, like, dude, it's so good. It's just so good. I mean, that's all I can really say about it. I think it's just an amazing perk all around. I wouldn't say it's better than Bamboozle or the other three in the S tier because, you know, again, they have to get gens done. So that's a downside, but then it gives you a good upside. So, yeah. Force Hesitation. Whenever you down a survivor, anyone within 60 meters moves 20% slower for 10 seconds. I'm sorry. This is going in D tier. Just, like, I know I used it in my most recent Hillbilly video, but I don't think it's that good with any... I mean, by itself. By itself, it's horrible. Unless you have someone who insta-downs, it's not going to be good. And even if you have a character that insta-downs, no one's going to be within 60 meters of you when you down someone. I think it's horrible. Forced Penance. Forced Penance is amazing. If someone takes a protection hit, they are broken for an entire 80 seconds. Personally, I think this is great with Legion, because instead of using the Legion pin, you can just hit someone with a frenzy and then hit someone with a frenzy that's next to the other guy you hit, and then they're broken. So Legion pin's useless at that point. And for an entire 80 seconds, even with 4 vigils, I still think that is around 30 seconds. I mean, that's still a lot, and no one uses 4 vigils, despite it being very good. Like, a lot of people should use Vigil more. It's so underrated. The only reason I put it F tier in my my Survivor tier list is because by itself it doesn't do much. But if you have like a build around it, it's amazing. Yeah, Force Penance is amazing. And here's what I was gonna say earlier about it. If you're carrying someone and someone body blocks while you're carrying, they're broken because that counts as a protection hit. To get a protection hit event, you have to body block for someone who is injured. Technically, the person on your shoulder isn't injured, but it still counts as a protection hit, so they're going to be broken if they body block while you hold someone. And, I mean, I think this is good. I'd say it's, like, right here around B tier. I think it's amazing. Because a lot of survivors love to just body block for no reason, so you can hit them real quick, and then they're going to be broken for an entire 80 seconds and not be able to do anything, so you just leave. Franklin's Demise. Now, I did see a tier list of the killer perks before this, before I'm making this. I gotta say, these people put their perks in some weird-ass places. Someone, like, they put Franklin's Demise in A tier. I'm sorry. Franklin's Demise, I'm putting in a solid D tier. You either use this perk to be really annoying, or you only use it if a bunch of people have flashlights. That's kind of it. And, first of all, here's the one downside. It relies on the survivors to bring items. Like, I mean, if the survivors have 3 or less items, you're probably not bringing this. And even if they have 4 items, if they're all, like, separate items, you're not doing it. If they're all 4 bringing medkits, or all 4 bringing flashlights or toolboxes, like, if they're all 4 bringing the exact same item, then this would be good. But other than that, no. Also, it has easy counterplay. If they just drop their item before you hit them, they will not lose any charges on the item. So, it's horrible. I'm sorry, it is hot garbage. I kind of choked on nothing there. Friends Till the End. Again, the people that I saw, their tier list, they put Friends Till the End in C tier. I'm sorry, this is an S tier perk. After hooking someone who's not your obsession, you can see your obsession's aura for 20 seconds, and they're exposed for, no, okay, you can see their aura for 10 seconds, but they're exposed for 20. Got it wrong there. So you can see your obsession at all times pretty much. And if you hook your obsession, someone who's not the obsession will scream, and you can see where they are because of the scream. And then you go down them, and then just repeat the process. It's amazing. I would say that's better than Fire Up. Furtive Chase. Used to be one of the worst perks in the entire game. Now it's actually good. After hooking your obsession, you are 5% quicker and undetectable for 18 seconds. Why 18? I'm not quite sure. I think it should be like 20. I know 18's an even number, but it's not an even number. You know what I mean? You probably don't know what I mean. Anyways, it relies on you to go after your obsession. And also, oh yeah, if someone who's not the obsession unhooks the obsession, they become the obsession. So it does prevent tunneling. So, I mean, that's an upside. Of course, if you get sweaty lobbies like I do every time, I'm going to tunnel. So this perk won't really be useful for me personally. I'm going to leave it right here in B tier. Game Afoot. If you're in chase with your obsession and you break something, I think it counts for generators too. Gens, walls, or pallets, you become 5% quicker for 10 seconds. And if you hit someone who has the longest amount of chase time and they're not the obsession, they'll become the obsession. This is a solid D tier perk. I would argue that is better than all of these though. That 5% haste can really make, like, it could really be good for you, but again, unless you're running other perks with it like Nemesis, it's not good. Gearhead. After injuring a survivor, anyone who hits a good skill check that's on a generator, you can see their aura for, I believe, 5 seconds? 4 seconds? You can see their aura for less than 10 seconds. That's all I know. I'm sorry, but this by itself is just... It's good information. I'd probably put it... probably above here. Genetic limits. Now, again, the tier list that I saw, they put genetic limits in D tier. But guess what? They put Septic Touch in B tier. Now, we're gonna find out what Septic Touch does later, but genetic limits is just a better version of it, so you can kind of guess. After someone finishes a healing action, no matter where they are, it doesn't matter where they are, there's no limit. If they finish a healing action, they are exhausted for 30 seconds, I believe. It's 30 or more. And I mean, that is just, that's, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not a good perk by any means, but the fact that they put it below Septic Touch is surprising as hell to me. I would say this is a D tier perk, because, like, if they're healing someone, you're probably not going to see them within 30 seconds, so, you know, what's the point of them being exhausted, you know? Grim Embrace. Grim Embrace is just an S tier perk now. There's not really any explanation why. I'm just putting it here because, like, after hooking someone, if you leave 16 meters away from them, if you go 16 meters away from them, every gen is blocked for 12 seconds. And if you hook it, and after you hook all 4 of them and you leave 60 meters, every gen's blocked for 40 seconds. This is just an amazing perk. I mean, it's an S tier perk. That's all I gotta say. What is this? Blood Favor. After hitting someone, every pallet within 32 meters is blocked, and they can't throw it down. So if you're a Huntress or a Trickster, I mean, any long-range killer or any killer. I mean, it doesn't really matter what killer you are, but especially with, like, Huntress, this is amazing. Again, I'm going to put this A. No, I'm going to put it B. It is a Hex, and Hexes are always not... They're not going to be good by themselves because they can easily be cleansed. So every Hex perk I might put C, honestly. I think it's better than... I do think it's better than everything in C, though. It's like almost B, but not quite, you know? Crowd control. Used to be pretty horrible. Now it's actually insane. If you watched any of my compilations, you'll know. After sprint vaulting through a window, it is blocked for 60 seconds. And I mean Survivor. If a Survivor sprint vaults a window, no matter where they are on the map, it is blocked for 60 seconds. It used to be blocked for, I believe, 12 or 16. It used to be useless. 60 seconds is a long-ass time. I know it's a Hex, but I am going to put it above C tier. I think it's better than... Fear of Chase, that's it, though. Devour Hope. If you hook someone and leave, if you're further than 24 meters away and... Okay, let me just rephrase it. If you are further than... if you are 24 meters away or further, and then someone gets unhooked, you get a stack, up to 5. At 3 stacks, you can insta-down people, and at 5 stacks, you can mori them. This is literally one of the best Hex perks. We're going to get to the best in 4. But this is definitely better than crowd control. I mean, I'd argue that... I would say this is probably A. Like, right around here. I know it's a Hex and you can easily get rid of it, but... But I still think it's very good. Face the Darkness. After you hit someone, Face the Darkness activates on a dull totem. Everyone who's not the person you hit will scream every 25 seconds, I believe, or every 20 seconds. Now, once that person that you've injured is healthy again, the Hex reverts back to a dull totem and the perk deactivates. But then you can hit to reactivate it again. I'm sorry. It's a good information perk. It's definitely, like, very low C tier. I'd give it, like, right here. Haunted Ground. There's 2 Hex totems on the map that spawn. If either of those Hex totems is cleansed, every survivor on the map is exposed for 60 seconds. Again, amazing perk. I'd say it's around... Probably around here. Because it's like a one-and-done thing. I mean... You know, 60 seconds, they can easily avoid that by looping you. Like, there's some loops that can easily be used. Yeah. Huntress' Lullaby. If a survivor misses a skill check, it loses 6% additional percentage. Every time you hook someone, you get a token up to 5. Each token 1 to 4 reduces the time... It reduces the time delay in skill checks, so it's harder to guess when it's going to come. And at 5 tokens, the skill checks are completely silent. I'm sorry, I just don't think this is very good. I wouldn't say D. I still think it's better than all of these, though. I think it's still better than all of these. It's definitely not better than Blood Favor, I think. I'd probably put it, like, right here. Noed. I mean, what can you say? Noed is one of the best second chance perks in the game. I was recently playing with Noed yesterday against a streamer, and they were like, dude, why is he so bad? He's using Noed. And I didn't say anything in his chat, but I really wanted to. Guys, he was running off the record. Dead Hard, Decisive Strike, and Adrenaline. All 4 of those are second chance perks, and he's calling me bad for using Noed. If I'm bad for using 1 second chance perk, I don't even know what he is for using 4. So, I mean, yeah. If you don't like Noed, that's your problem. It's not mine. Basically, during the end game, a dull totem becomes a Hex totem, and everyone's exposed until the Hex totem's gone, and you gain 4% haste. Now, why do people complain about Noed so much? That's a real good question. Sure, you're insta down, but you can easily avoid it. Here's what I mean. It only activates if there's a dull totem on the map. So if they just cleanse all 5 totems, like there's only 5 totems. If they just cleanse all 5 totems, Noed won't even activate to begin with, so why complain about it? You know? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Pentimento. Every time someone does a dull totem, you can rekindle it into a Well, it doesn't have to be a dull totem. Every time a totem is cleansed, doesn't matter if it's a hex or a dull totem, you can go up to it, rekindle it, and you'll get some effects. Now, I'm not going to read it. I'm going to just use my brain to figure it out. The first effect, okay, after having 1 rekindle totem, survivors repair gens 30% slower. After having 2, the survivors heal 30% slower. 3, I think, is recover 30% slower. 4, yeah. 4 is they open exit gates 30% slower, and then the last one, every totem is blocked. So if you get all 5 somehow magically, they can't cleanse it and get rid of it. I think this is like by itself. I'm sorry, I'd have to give this like a high F maybe, because a lot of survivors are not going to just cleanse a totem. They're not just going to cleanse a dull totem, you know. Plaything. After hooking a survivor, Plaything is active. They are oblivious, which means they can't see your tear radius, until they get rid of the totem. They can see the totem's aura within, I believe, 24 meters. Or 16, maybe? Either way, they cannot see the totem within a certain range. I'm sorry. By itself, I think it's useless. It kind of encourages tunneling, because you would rather go after someone who can't see your tear radius over someone who can, right? So it just encourages tunneling, and I don't think it's a very good perk. By itself, especially. And like with Pentimento, this would be good, but by itself, it's horrible. Hex Retribution. When someone is cleansing a totem, they are oblivious for 45 seconds. And after a totem is cleansed... Is it a totem or hex? Let's just say hex. After a hex totem is cleansed, you can see everyone's aura for, I believe, 12 seconds or 14 seconds. You can see their aura for a long time. Again, no one's going to just cleanse a random totem. But I do think it gives a better effect than any of these do, so I'm going to put it right here. Ruin. I'm sorry. Ruin, I would put F right away, honestly. But I'm going to move it right here. If someone gets off of a gen, that gen starts regressing at 100%. It used to be 200%. That's why. It used to be S, but now it's not. But yeah, no more explaining that. It's just, it just regresses gens at 100% when no one's on it. Third seal. Every time you hit a survivor, they are blind. Oh, well, hold on. The last 4 survivors you hit have the blindness effect until the totem is cleansed. So last 4, anyone. Everyone that you hit is blind until the totem is cleansed. All 4 of the survivors. So if you hook someone and then hit someone else, they're not going to know where that hooked person is. I think it's better than Ruin. Honestly, I think this is a very underrated hex. I'm going to put it right here. Thrill of the Hunt. This is going F tier. For each totem on the map, which is 5, so let's just say 50. 50%. It takes 50% longer to cleanse totems. Again, no one's going to cleanse a totem just by default, so. Hex 2 can play. After getting stunned 2 times, Hex is created from a dull totem. Now, every single time you are blinded or stunned, the person who stunned or blinded you is blind for 1.5 seconds. I think this is very good. They can't cleanse it right at the beginning of the match because it hasn't activated yet. And 1.5 seconds is not a long time, but if... Well, never mind. You can't use other perks. I am going to lower this. I'm going to put it... I wouldn't say it's better than Crowd Control or Haunted Ground. I'm going to put it low B tier. Undying, I'm putting this in the very bottom of F tier. Actually, I do think it's better than all of these, though, because it still has an effect. Basically, if a hex... Let's say you have Noed. If Noed is cleansed, Undying is cleansed instead, and Noed is transferred to a different totem. Again, by itself, that's not going to matter, but it does have a second effect. Anyone within 4 meters of a dull totem has their aura revealed until they leave the range. So, I mean, it's good if you see someone trying to cleanse a totem or if they're trying to boon a totem. But it's not really good. Hoarder. If a survivor touches a chest or an item within 64 meters, they're highlighted to you. They're not their aura. Their position is... you can see their position. I think it's a good info perk, but again, it relies on the survivors to do something, so I'm going to put it D tier. Hubris. After being stunned, the person who stunned you is exposed for 20 seconds. Yeah, 20 seconds. And then It goes on cooldown for 20 seconds as well, I believe. I do think this is a great perk. I'm gonna put this A tier. Again, it can be used more than Blood Warden, so it's going there. Hysteria. After injuring someone, every injured person is oblivious for 20 seconds, I believe. I don't think this is very good, to be honest. Because people have to stay injured for it, and if they heal, it's useless, so... I do still think it's better than Alien Instinct, honestly. But I'll put it right here. I'm all ears. After someone sprint vaults within, I believe, 40 meters. I'm not quite sure the range. It's 64 or 40. That's all I know. But yeah, after someone sprint vaults within that range, you can see their aura for, I believe, 6 seconds. The time doesn't really matter, though. I still think this is a bad perk unless you're a certain killer. I'm gonna put it right... I think it's better than Hoarder, though. I think it's better than all of these, pretty much. Is that any better than Retribution? Yeah, I'll put it above Call of Brine. Infectious Fright. This is immediately going in S tier. One of the best info perks in the game. After downing a survivor, every survivor that's in your tear radius will scream. And you can see their location for 6 seconds. Now, that doesn't sound too amazing, but if you're slugging, this is incredible. Especially if you're slugging. If you down someone and there's a slug person in your tear radius, they will also have their location revealed. I don't think anything in the entire game reveals people while on the ground with a scream. Like, if they're on the ground, they usually cannot scream. Right? But Infectious Fright doesn't matter. If they're on the ground, they still scream. Now, I do not think it's better than Noed, of course, but it's definitely better than these three. Or these four, I mean. Insidious. I'm sorry, Insidious is... After standing still for 2 seconds, you're undetectable. That's all I'm saying. Iron Grasp. I think wiggling is 70% harder, so it doesn't move you around as much, and it takes them 12 or 14% longer to break free. This is just a good perk, especially if you're a beginner. It's another, like, it's kind of like Brutal Strength, you know? It's another perk that's, like, really good for M1 killers, I believe. So it's going up here. Iron Maiden. I'm sorry. Iron Maiden by itself, it's just horrible. You open lockers 50% quicker, which, again, if you're a Huntress or a Trickster, that's good, but, like, anyone else, no. If someone exits a locker, they're exposed. I'm sorry. It's better than Insidious. Better than all of these, really. Right here. Knockout. After downing a survivor, everyone outside of 60 meters of that survivor is blind. They can only see the aura of the downed survivor if they were within 16 meters of the survivor. The survivor recovers and crawls 50% slower for, I believe, 12 seconds. I'm not quite sure about that. But another really good slugging perk. I wouldn't really call it the best, though. I think it's, like, right around this range. It's not better than Deadman Switch, that's sure. I think it's right here. Lethal Pursuer. The first 11 seconds of the trial, you can see everyone. If they're not running Distortion, that is. And then every other aura reading perk in the game has its duration increased by 2. Now, I said 11 seconds. This really shows everyone's aura at the beginning for 9 seconds, but its secondary effect adds 2 seconds to every aura perk. That includes itself, so you can see everyone's aura for 11 seconds at the beginning. By itself, this is not really that good because, again, you don't have any other aura perks. But still, that 11 seconds at the beginning can save you massively. I do think it's better than everything in C. Leverage, I'm sorry, this shit is going, like, right here. After hooking a survivor, this activates for 30 seconds. During that 30 seconds, like, you get a token, right? Every time you hook someone, you get a token that adds 5%. Up to 5 tokens, I believe. No, up to 10 tokens, right? Yeah, sorry. Up to 10 tokens. So they heal 50% slower for 30 seconds. It's just a horrible perk. Lightborn. Bye-bye. Lightborn just makes it to where you can't be flashlight blinded. But again, why would you waste this? Just look at a wall. It's that simple. And once the survivors realize that you have it, they're going to stop wasting their time flashlighting you. Machine Learning. After kicking 2 generators, not 1, but 2, that already makes me hate it. So you kick one gen, this activates. You kick another gen, it goes on that gen. Once that gen that you kicked second is done, for 30 seconds, you are 10% faster and undetectable. Again, you have to kick 2, not even 1 gen, 2. I mean, man, I just don't really like this perk. I'm going to be honest. I just deadass don't like it. I'll give it a B, though, because, I mean, once it is active, it's very, very nice, especially if you're a clown. You're already faster than survivors, so... I still don't think it's better than any of these ones, though. Like, I mean, Forced Penance is very underrated, in my opinion. Mad Grit. If you hit someone while carrying someone else, their wiggle timer is paused for 4 seconds, and you have no cooldown for missing an attack. I think this is another underrated one again. It's amazing. It's literally like Forced Penance, you know? It's just underrated as hell for body blocking. I think it's amazing. Make your choice. Another underrated one. If you are beyond, I think, 32 meters from a hook, whoever unhooks that hooked survivor is exposed for 60 seconds. A long time. I think this goes in, like, high B tier. Like, it's very underrated. Merciless Storm. I'm sorry. No one's going to agree with this. But this is going D tier. After 90% of a gen's completed, you get really hard skill checks. You get roughly 10 skill checks that are really hard. Really hard. Until the gen's completed. Now, I put quotation marks because the skill checks are not that hard. Unless you're going against a doctor and you're insane, this is really bad by itself. Now, for newer players, this is really good, though. Because they're not going to be very good at the game. So I'm going to put it high D, but I still don't think it's that good. Mindbreaker. After getting on a gen, every survivor is blind and exhausted. And this effect lingers for 5 seconds after they get off the gen. By itself, I still think this is very good because if you hook someone, everyone on a gen is not going to see where the hooked person is. So they're going to have to guess. So I do think this is pretty good by itself still. I think it's definitely better than all of these. Not better than Ruin. Monitor of Use. Your tear radius is 8% smaller when out of chase, and it's 8% bigger when in chase. So, I mean, it's just good if you want to be stealthy. By itself, though, I don't think it's that good. I think it's... Yeah, right here. If you're Hag, though, your tear radius is 16 meters. I'll bring it up. Nemesis. After getting stunned by a pallet, the person becomes your obsession, and they're oblivious for, I believe, 60 seconds. You can see their aura for 6 seconds, I think. It requires them to stun you. So if they pre-drop, it's already useless. So I'm bringing it down to D. And if they're already your obsession, it doesn't do anything. If they're not your obsession, it has a good effect though. I don't think it's better than Hoarder, to be honest. Hoarder still gives you better information. No Way Out. Every time you hook a survivor, you get 1 token up to 4. Each token increases the time it takes to open an exit. It blocks an exit gate for 12 seconds per token when they try to open an exit gate. So it already starts with 12, and it adds 12 for 1 stack, 24, then 36, then 48, and then 60. So it blocks the exit gate for 60 seconds when they try to touch it. Now, if you're in a 1v1 scenario, like it's you and another survivor, you close the hatch, that bar, once that bar gets to half, they lose. They just lose if the bar gets to half. I think this is a great perk, honestly. I mean, a lot of endgame perks, I believe, I would just put up to S and A immediately. I don't think it's better than Fire Up, because this is guaranteed to activate no matter what. Even if you get no hooks at all, it still has it for 12 seconds, and it gives you a noise notification whenever they touch a door. So I do think it's still amazing, even if you don't get any hooks. I don't think it's better than Friends Till the End, though, because this traps them in the trial for another, minute. It's amazing. Nowhere to Hide. After kicking a gen, anyone within 24 meters of you has their aura revealed. Now, it's not 24 meters of the gen, it's just 24 meters of you. So if you kick the gen and you move a little bit, for that 5 seconds that it's active, I believe it's 5 seconds, you can still see their aura. So let's say you teleport, right? Let's say you're the Dredge. If you kick a gen and then quickly teleport to a locker, during that teleport animation, you'll see anyone within 24 meters of where you are. Same with, like, any teleporting character, like Hag. Let's say Hag. So if you kick a gen, teleport to one of your traps, anyone within 24 meters of where you are, like that new trap that you teleported to, even if it's across the map from the gen, you can see their aura within 24 meters. Another A tier perk, I believe. Because you're going to be kicking gens anyways, regardless, probably, so... I don't think it's better than Devourer, though. Actually, yeah, it is. Oppression. After kicking a generator, 3 random gens have a skill check, and they start regressing. So if no one's on it, they just start regressing. If someone is on it, they get a hard skill check, and if they miss, it removes some progress. If they don't miss and they hit it, it does nothing. But the cooldown is 80 seconds, so I would put it in, like, A or B if it didn't have such a long cooldown, but I'm going to put it, like, C somewhere. Right here. Just dead in the middle of C. Overcharge. After kicking a gen, the next time someone gets on that gen, they get a hard skill check, and if they miss it, it regresses it by another 6%, I believe. Also, after you kick that gen, it regresses 130% faster. So it's literally just Call of Brine, but better. Now, it only regresses for 130% for 30 seconds, so it's just not going to do much, but then it has the skill check. I think this is better than Call of Brine, personally. I'm going to put it, like, right up here, honestly. I think it's better than Ruin as well. Overwhelming Presence. Anyone within your terror radius that's using an item, their item goes down and charges 100% faster. This is just useless. I'm sorry. It's better than Lightborn. Let's be honest here with that. Play with your food. After leaving Chase with your obsession, you get 1 token up to 3. Each token increases your movement speed by 5%, so you can go up to 15% faster. If you're playing a 115 killer, you can go up to 130. This is amazing. It requires you to leave your obsession, but that's a small price to pay because you get to catch someone later that it could be better than your obsession. I'm definitely saying this is A tier. This is definitely, like, solid. I wouldn't say it's better than Distortion, though. I think Brutal Strength is better than it, too. And, you know, I'm gonna put Iron Grasp below Brutal Strength now. Up goes the Weasel. Another S tier perk. One of those perks that's used all the time. I do think it's better than Grim Embrace. Grim Embrace just blocks it, doesn't regress it. Anything that regresses gens by a high amount, such as 30, I think that's amazing. Predator. Okay, like, this is another one of those F tier perks. It makes scratch marks closer together. And I believe that's the only effect it has. There might be another effect, but either way, it's still worse. It's better than Lightborn, but other than that, it's just staying right there. Rancor. Every time a gen's done, you can see everyone's position for 3 seconds, and the obsession can see your aura for 3 seconds. After every gen's powered, your obsession is exposed, and you can kill them. It's like Bitter Murmur, but you can kill your obsession at the end, but then your obsession can see your aura, so that is a downside. I'm going to put it, like, right next to Bitter Murmur right here. Rapid Brutality. I'm sorry, Rapid Brutality is going in F tier. Probably not at the bottom. You cannot gain Bloodlust, and that is a huge downside, because sometimes you need Bloodlust. There's always that one survivor that's extremely fast, and you can't catch up to them. So, you need this. Also, here's what it actually does. Like, it removes Bloodlust, but also, every time you hit someone with a basic attack, you're 5% quicker for 10 seconds. This is really only good on Clown, because with Clown, you don't need Bloodlust, because you can slow the survivors down and make yourself faster. It's only good with Clown. But it's still better than, like, almost everything here. I wouldn't say it's better than Leverage, though. Remember Me. After hitting your obsession, you get a token up to, I believe, 4. Each token makes it take longer to open the exit gate by a certain amount. I'm not quite sure, but it goes up to 44 seconds. So it takes 44 seconds longer to open the exit gates. It takes 20 seconds to open the exit gate off of base, by the way. It takes 20 seconds off of base. This increases it by 44. It takes over a minute to open the exit gates. That's insane. I'm pretty sure that's how it works, at least. I'm not quite sure, to be honest. I do think this is a solid A tier perk, though. Now, it doesn't affect your obsession. So your obsession, they open the door at normal speed. So if you're going to use this, you need to kill your obsession before the end game happens. Otherwise, they're just going to get out immediately, which does suck, but... I'm going to say it's better than all these. Stabiffle. Stabiffle recently got nerfed. Save the Best for Last is its actual name. I just say Stabiffle because it's a shortened version. What this perk does is, after hitting someone who's not your obsession, gain a token up to 8. Each token reduces the cooldown of your basic attacks by, I believe, 6%. 4, 8. 8 plus 8, 16. 16 plus 16. 32. Yeah. 8%. Right? 8, 8, 16. Yeah, okay. After hitting someone who's not your obsession, you gain a token up to 8. Each token reduces your cooldown by 8%. That's pretty nice. Now, after hitting your obsession, you lose 2 tokens. And that's if your obsession gets hit by a basic attack or a special attack. So, I mean, this is still amazing, though. It's still one of the best perks in the game, in my opinion. Like, I mean, it's just incredible. I'm going to put it right here. Actually, no, that extra cooldown can give you so much, though. It's right here. Not better than Noed, actually. Not better than Noed. Scorch Hook Floods of Rage. After someone gets unhooked from a Scorch Hook, you can see everyone's aura for 7 seconds. It's just a very nice info perk. I'm going to put it about right. I think it's just a worse version of Barbecue, to be honest. It's going right there. Gift of Pain. After someone is unhooked from a Scorch Hook, they are Sloppy Butcher, let's say. And after they're healed, they do everything 16% slower. By everything, I just mean, like, healing and then gen speed. I think that's it. I think this is a very bad perk, honestly. It's just going right here. Hangman's Trick. Again, this is just dog shit. If anyone is within 12 meters of a Scorch Hook, you see their aura. If they start sabotaging any hook, you get a noise notification. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's better than Lightborn by itself, though. I think it's, like, right here, honestly. Monstrous Shrine. If you leave 24 meters away from a hooked person on a Scorch Hook, their timer goes down 20% quicker. Again, very nice. I think it's better than this, for sure. But again, Scorch Hooks, they're always not that good because they have to be on certain hooks. Now, okay, this is an exception, though. This S tier right here. Pain Res. Scorch Hook Pain Res. After you hook someone on a Scorch Hook, the gen with the most progress loses 25% immediately, and the person on it screams. Very nice. Septic Touch. Now, this is the Genetic Limits worst version. That's what I was talking about. So Genetic Limits is right here. It's right here. Here's what this does. Now, Genetic Limits, let me refresh your mind. Refresh your memory. When someone is healed, they're the person who healed them. I think both of them are exhausted for 30 seconds. Horrible. Septic Touch. After you heal someone, you are exhausted for 10 seconds. No, you're exhausted for the entire heal and 10 seconds afterwards. And that's only if you are in my terror radius. It's better than Lightborn again. Shadowborn, better than Lightborn. After being blinded, you move 10% faster for 10 seconds. It's really not that good because you have to be blinded first of all. So, I mean, you're not going to see where you're going. Shattered Hope. Again, so bad. If you kick a boon, it breaks the totem. It's just horrible. Sloppy Butcher used to be a good perk, probably A, but I'd say it's probably like a C tier now. After you hit a survivor, they are hemorrhaged and mangled for, I believe, 90 seconds. So, yeah, it's the fact that it's 90 seconds now and not permanent is just horrible. It's going right here. Actually, I think it's better than Gift of Pain because you don't have to hook them to activate it. You can just hit them normally, but it's still not that good by any means. I'd put it below Colorophobia because Colorophobia automatically makes them heal to 50% slower when they're in terrorists. Survive from the Shadows. If a crow flies away within 36 meters of you and a survivor did it, you can see the crow's highlight. It's a very good info perk, I believe. I'm going to put it right above here. Spirit Fury. After breaking 2 pallets, next time you're stunned, the pallet is immediately broken. It's just a nice way of, like, you're playing the game already. Here's the benefit of playing the game the way it's already meant to be played. I I still think this is amazing with Hubris, too. Putting it a little bit below, though. Starstruck. When you pick up someone, anyone within your terror radius is exposed for permanently or until they leave your terror radius for 60 seconds. By permanently, I mean until the person is hooked. Once you hook the person, then the 60-second timer happens. The timer will happen faster if they leave your terror radius, though. I think this is another S tier perk. I don't think it's like low S tier, though. You know, being exposed sucks for the survivors. Strider, again, this is another F tier perk. It's right here, honestly. Breathing is 50% louder when they're in pain. So their grunts of pain are 50% louder, and normally they're 25% louder. Still very horrible. Superior anatomy. If a survivor vaults within 8 meters of you, sprint vaults, you vault 40% faster next time, and it goes on cooldown for, I think, 40 seconds. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, that vault speed can really help you sometimes. I'm going to put it in B tier. Of course, they have to sprint vault, so you're losing them. But if you hit them as they vault, maybe not. So I'm going to put it like right here. Surge. After you down someone, every gen within 32 meters of you blows up and loses 8%. I do believe this is better than Eruption. Now, where is Eruption? Where did I put Eruption at? I'm trying to find it because I do not remember. Where's Eruption? Where's Eruption? Okay, there it is. This is better than Eruption. Way better than Eruption, in my opinion. One of the best gen regression perks. I think it's like right here, probably. Surveillance. Every gen that's regressing, you can see its aura in, I believe, white. And if the survivors stop regressing that gen, it's in yellow for 12 seconds. So it's very good information if you kick a gen. Honestly, another one of the unrated ones. Low rated. Underrated. That's it. That's the name. Underrated. Right here. Terminus. After the exit gates are powered, anyone who's injured is broken. And if you injure someone, they're broken. After the exit gate is opened, after 30 seconds, they can heal again. It's a very good in-game perk, honestly. I would give it like a high B tier. Territorial Imperative. If a survivor enters the basement and you are more than 24 meters away, you can see their aura for 6 seconds. Very horrible perk. Definitely better than Lightborn, though. I'd say it's better than most of these things, actually. Although, and now recently they're going to be entering the basement a lot more because of the new perks, but that's it. Thanatophobia. For each injured person, they do gens 2% slower. And Sabotage 2% slower. I'm not sure if there's anything else they do slower. I'm pretty sure there is. But healing is not one of them. That's all I know. And if everyone's injured, it's 20%. So, it's just a good slowdown perk. Very, very niche, I'd say. I'd probably give it like right here. Actually, yeah, right here. Throwing Tremors. If you pick up someone, every gen that's not being worked on is blocked for 16 seconds. And it has a cooldown of a long time. That's all I know. It's going like here. Thwack. After you hook someone, this activates. If you break a pallet, anyone within, I believe, 32 meters of that pallet screams and their aura is revealed. I think this is a pretty good perk, actually. It's a good info perk. I would probably put this above Force Penance. Tinkerer used to be the best perk in the entire game, pretty much. Now it's still pretty good, I believe. After 70% of a gen is completed, you can see the gen's aura, and you are stealthy for 12 seconds. 16? 16 seconds. You have no terror radius for 16 seconds. You can get up to them, sneak up on them, maybe get a grab. Another good info perk. I'm going to put this all the way up in B. Trail of Torment. I'm sorry. I would put this high A tier, but once we get to one of the new perks, I'm going to tell you why I'm not going to put it up there. But right now, I'm still going to put this in high C. Ultimate Weapon. After opening a locker, anyone that's in your terror radius will scream. And it has a cooldown of 30 seconds. And then it activates for 30 seconds. So anyone in your terror radius for the next 30 seconds will scream. I think this is one of the best info perks in the game. I'm putting this, like, up here. I might butcher these new names, because these next 3 perks are all the unknowns perks. I believe this one is called Unbound. After injuring a survivor, this activates for 30 seconds. If you vault a window within that 30 seconds, you get 5% haste for 10 seconds. It's really not that good, to be honest. I'd probably put this, like dead in the middle of C tier. Undone. Every time a survivor misses a skill check, you gain a token. No, you gain 3 tokens, up to 30, I believe. So, once they miss 10 skill checks, you get 30. If you kick a gen, however many tokens you have is 1%. So let's say let's say you got all 30 stacks. So the gen that you kick will lose 30%, and it will be blocked for an additional 30 seconds. This is a great perk. Of course, if you're in a low MMR, this is way better. Like, this would probably be S tier, but if you're in my MMR, which is what we're going off of, this is not really good because people are not going to miss skill checks unless you're doctor. So I'm going to put it like right here. Unforeseen. After kicking a generator, this is why I'm putting Trail Torment so low, by the way, this perk right here. After kicking a generator, you're stealthy for 30 seconds, and your tear radius is on the gen for 30 seconds. I'm sorry, but this is way better than Trail Torment now. Trail Torment can be stopped if they stop progressing the gen too. This cannot be stopped. That 30 seconds is inevitable. So I'm going to put this, like, right here. Unnerving Presence. Anyone doing something within your tear radius, there's a 10% more likely chance that they'll get a skill check, and skill checks are 60% smaller. This is just another, like, very mid perk, honestly. It's paired nicely with Colorophobia, but by itself, I mean, I'd probably say it's, like, right about here. Also, I'm going to move Throwing Tremors up a little bit. I kind of feel bad, honestly. It's a great gen block perk, so. Unrelenting. After missing a basic attack, your cooldown for recovering is 30% faster. It's not really that good. I think it's better than Nemesis and Franklin's, though. I'm going to put it, like, right here. Whispers. If there's a survivor within 32 meters of you, Whispers will highlight and whisper to you. So if it's a 1v1 and the exit gates are across the map, you will be able to find this person. You'll know where they are. But that's really the only, like, way it's good. So, I mean, I'm going to put it, like, right here. And then finally, Zanshin Tactics. It's windows of opportunity, but for killer. You can see every breakable wall, pallet, and window within 32 meters. It's only good if you're a beginner, really, so I'm not going to put it too high, but it's not F tier. This is definitely more useful than every perk down there. If you're very new to the game, I mean, I'm just going to go ahead and put it right here. And there we have it. This is the tier list. Some of this stuff I didn't really explain too well, but it is what it is. If you guys don't like it, make your own tier list. You can be as toxic as you want in the comments. It's up to you. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and catch me in the next one. Goodbye.